Josh is still busy working, doing his odd jobs that he does for people that we know. And even though I'm still uploading the last video that I did, I decided that, well, maybe I go ahead and I do another one. And even though at home we're close to an airport, and so the signal's not always the best. There's times it's better than other times, but there's times that it's really not good. And it can take 2 to 3 days for me to upload a video, which is another reason for it taking so long to be getting these done. But I'm working at it, and I'm going to try and do better than what I had been. Like I said, I still have got some depression, but it's better than it was, and I got a lot I got to deal with. I'm just going to have to. The diabetes, the neuropathy, the depression, I got, I can't even think of the name of it right now. But since she T-boned us like that, I have a really hard time getting in a vehicle, which is funny when you think about it. Not funny, haha, but just ironic that I used to drive 4 and even for a while 5 routes for a living, and I enjoyed driving. I knew how to drive really well. I was able to avoid pretty much any accident anybody seemed determined they were going to cause, and I did really well with it and had a clean driving record all these years, and almost 8 whole years delivering papers, and nothing until that woman T-boned us. But I will not call it an accident, because I don't believe it was an accident. I believe she did it on purpose, because of the fact not only other things that I've got in mind that we've been talking about, but just the fact that she said to the cop, she saw my lights, which means she saw my light on top and my left turn signal on, which I was turning left into a driveway, and it dropped off to a field on the right, and we're in a small car. So why would you even think about going around on the left-hand side? That's not an accident. That was a stupid decision. Stupid. Which tells you exactly what I think of her, because after everything that she's been putting me through with what she did, one stupid decision, and I am having to live with all of this because of her. So, people don't even want to try telling me that I need to forgive her, because it's just not going to happen. Maybe at some point, I do believe that God would want me to forgive her, but I just can't. It's too much pain and suffering, too much in my face of everything. I mean, everywhere I look, there's, oh, well, I can't do that because of what she did. Or like last summer, I'm sure everybody heard about the recession or inflation, or about the food shortages. And so Josh and I, we spent a good part of summer and fall canning up a bunch of stuff, which would be all fine and dandy, except for that some of the stuff is stuff I would love to be able to have, and because of her causing my pancreas to act up and me to end up with diabetes, I can't have it. One of the things is my grandma, she used to make chili sauce. And I've always loved that chili sauce. And I'd love to have some on some potatoes, which anybody that knows anything about diabetes knows that you're supposed to kind of stay away from potatoes. You shouldn't have them a whole lot. And so the potatoes alone are, but the chili sauce, it's got sugar in it. And it's regular sugar. I can't have it. We did 2 batches, and I can't have it because of her. Now, hopefully at some point in the future, I'll be feeling better, and we'll have the money that we can go ahead and get some canned up with sugar substitute like Splenda in it, and then I'll be able to have some. But in the meantime, nope. All them jars sitting there, and I can't have it. So, another slap in the face, Speaking of slap in the face, it reminds me, I was telling you about taking care of Bob and Irene. And Bob had diabetes. He was a relative by marriage. And so it was not in the family, but he did have diabetes. And I worked really hard on researching, and I came up with a bunch of recipes. And then as I made their meals, I worked on changing those recipes. I worked on tweaking them, trying to make them the healthiest that I could and something that he could have that it wouldn't bother his levels. And obviously, I was doing right because of the fact that when he would go to the doctor, his levels were always better than they'd ever been before. And he had not just diabetes, but a bunch of other issues on top of it. So for me to be able to do that, that was my first experience really with diabetes and foods and whatnot for people with diabetes. But I never knew it was going to hit so close to home that I'd have to know. But then again, I went ahead and I kept track of the recipes, and I kept them in a recipe box there because that was where I used them. I put my name on a piece of tape on the recipe box, and little did I know when Bob killed himself that my recipes disappeared. I tried to find out where they went to because they're my recipes. I worked hard on them for years. And his son, Bob's son, said he doesn't know where it is. So I know it seems like he had a couple people helping him to clean stuff out of the house. I don't know if one of them took it or what, but had my name on it and all that hard work, and they just went ahead and took it somehow, whether for them or whatever, I don't know. But since it had my name on it, they had no reason, no right to just take it. But then again, I'd taken our popcorn popper, hot air popcorn popper over because Bob loved his caramel corn, and I made it from scratch, and I used the hot air popcorn popper to make the popcorn for it, which made it really quick and easy. And I put a piece of tape with my name on that, and it was on there, and never got that back either. I had a bread machine that I'd taken by there, had tape in my name, didn't get it back. I had a shirt that I'd been wearing, and I got water on it, I think it was. And so I had a shirt in the car. I went ahead and I changed out, and I hung that up so it would dry. I lost my shirt too. So just because you put your name on something doesn't mean that you're going to get it back, I guess. And I just really never would have thought that, but so that's what it is. I was going to go ahead and I was going to do a book with the recipes. I always thought, since I worked so hard on those recipes, that that would be wonderful with anybody with diabetes and other health issues, that they could try it. And in the meantime, I know that I can't get it back. It's just long gone. But I thought, oh, I could go online and see if I could at least find the original recipes. And then I would have at least that as a starting point. I hate to have to do everything all over again, but I can't remember all of the recipes. And the ones that I do remember, I can't find the recipes that I first found, because like the one was barbecue beef liver. And trust me, Josh and I have never really liked beef liver, but you have not had beef liver until you've had this way, because it is so good. It just amazed me. But Bob would go ahead and he would get like a freezer full of meat, like a half a cow, I think it was. And so that was the meat that I had to work with. And so I had beef liver and had to figure out a way to use it. And I came up with this recipe, and then I tweaked it, and it was so good. It was always gone quite quickly. And I really wish I could find it again. So if anybody out there knows of a barbecue beef liver recipe, maybe it would be close, or hey, if I'm really lucky, maybe it'd be the same one that I'd gotten in the first place. But it'd be nice, since I can't find that recipe. I haven't even been able to find anything close to it. Another one was corn salad. And I used to make that, and it had lime juice in it. But I can't find one just like what that was either. So it might be a matter of they're just gone, and we'll never be able to have them again. I'm hoping that's not the case, but I'm not going to count my chickens before they're hatched, and I'm not going to count on it. It's been so long, and just figure that they're gone. Unless God brings my recipe box and sets it down in front of me or something. I don't know. So, as far as the diabetes, I don't know about other people, but when I was diagnosed, they didn't really give me a lot of information. They had somebody come in and talk to me for a few minutes, and I was told to steer clear of potatoes and fruit, and especially bananas, which in the research that I've been doing, I've come across where people have said, well, you can have a banana now and then, or if you have one that's more on the green side, it won't be so sweet. I saw somebody had told that if you cut a banana in half long ways and you scrape that center part out, that it has seeds in it, and that they're the issue. That if you scrape those seeds out, then you can have the banana and it's not going to be a problem. I don't know if this is the case. I never really thought of banana as having a seed in it or seeds, but that's what I came across. And so it's something I might try at some point, but I'm just leery because I've always loved bananas. And I'm leery that if I start eating on it, I might not want to stop. Hopefully that's not the case. I've been doing really good. When I was diagnosed, my blood sugar level was 300 and something, it seems like. I don't remember exactly. And my A1C was like 7. And I've been really trying to keep my diet basically a low or no carb. Not easy. What I do like to do is have where I keep some, they have the smaller cucumbers in a bag that you can get. Josh gets them at Walmart. Cucumbers and radishes, baby carrots, things to snack on for that crunch because I can't have like potato chips or anything like that anymore. And then when I have my snacks, sometimes I'll actually have like ranch dressing with it a little bit. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. And we found that the ranch dressing, at least the Great Value brand at Walmart, it seems to be the best levels. I'm getting a little tired of ranch dressing, but hey, it's better than not having any at all. But it'd be really nice if at some point I could maybe splurge and have, I don't know, like some Thousand Island or French or something. Maybe even figure out and make some homemade that would be with like Splenda or something. Something to think about, but obviously not right now because with how I am, I have such a hard time. I need Josh's help for basically everything. I can walk a little bit with his help. I can't walk on my own. Some people mentioned about like a walker, but I don't feel that I can trust that because of the way my feet and hands are, and then sometimes my legs want to give out. And I just would be really leery that if I put all my faith in a walker, that I could end up having a bad accident. Whereas Josh, I know he's strong. I trust him. And I know that he'll help me to get where I'm going and get back, There's been times that my balance has been off a little bit. I've been trying to move too fast or something. I don't know. And I'll start to like lose my grip and maybe fall to the side or something. And Josh is always, he grabs and gets me right back on track. You're not going to have that with a walker. And I know that if I had like a wheelchair, I could get around with that. But we live in a trailer and it was not handicap accessible because I never thought of this. We had a relative that she was having us do work and she was, cleaning and stuff. And she was busy getting things so that they were handicap accessible in case she ever needed it because she had lupus. Lupus, yeah. Not Lyme. Or is it Lyme? Lyme or lupus, I forget. Anyway, so she was busy preparing for that and she didn't need it yet, but that's Judy. That's the one that we were doing the house cleaning for. And we ended up finding that she had fallen down the stairs and she died. But anyway, our place is not handicap accessible. So trying to get through with a walker or a wheelchair, it's just not feasible. It's just not. It'd be really nice if I became wealthy and we could get a new place put in on our property and have where it's all handicap accessible. But for now, that's just not a possibility. And so I do the best I can. Josh has been talking to me lately about, well, he could give me a piggyback ride because I struggle sometimes so much just getting back and forth to the vehicle and that. And I appreciate the idea, the thought behind it, but I don't want to hurt him. I wouldn't want to hurt him anyway, but especially since he is my lifeline. I mean, if he can't help me, then I'm really up a creek. But not only do I not want to hurt him, but I was saying tonight when he offered again, and I'm like, you know, it's not easy for me to get around, to get where I'm going and get back, but it does help keep my strength up in my legs and stuff. And even though I don't appreciate having to go through everything the way that I do, I don't want to make it worse, because if I'm not using my legs at all, then I might not be able to walk at all. I mean, I don't want it to get to that point. As it is, I exercise every day, off and on throughout the day. Now, when I say exercise, because of how I am, I can't just get up and do jumping jacks or whatever. But I do exercise my legs. I either sit or I lay down, and I will have where I move my feet, lifting them and putting them down as if I'm walking. And then I'll have where I do it a little faster and a little faster. And then at points I will get where I'm like jogging and I'm doing it really fast. And then I'll stop and I'll do something, exercise where I'm moving slower, like tightening my rear end and lifting it, you know, and putting it down. And I keep back and forth, back and forth. That's, I think what I came across, they were talking about interval training. And that helps to get the glucose where the insulin gets into it, and anyway your body burns the glucose, and so it does a lot better, helps to bring your sugar numbers down. I'd like to be able to walk and run and dance because I miss it. I used to love to dance, used to love to walk too, but hopefully, came across a thing recently and it said God will heal you, and I'm like, I hope so. Josh had said that he thinks that God's letting me be like this so that I would get my channel done, because I've been talking about it for a while, and that I would be able to help more people because of what I've been through, but also what I'm going through now, because I understand. I can't just say I understand. I've lived it. I am living it. I understand the pain and insomnia, and you can't take care of yourself anymore. You can't walk. I mean, used to be if I needed to go to the bathroom, I would just jump up, go back, and go. Who thinks about it? If I wanted something to eat or something to drink, I would just get it. I can't do that anymore. I can't even brush my own hair anymore. And wearing makeup, forget it. There is no way. Because even though I've really been working on it, and I'm a lot better than I was, I can't hardly move hair out of my face, let alone trying to put makeup on and mascara. Can you imagine me with trying to put mascara on with the way my hands are? Just not gonna happen. So if I'm not beautiful enough for you, then just don't even bother coming back, you know, just go to another channel, because I'm just here to try and help people. And yeah, if it helps get this out, helps, if it's cathartic, let's put it that way. If it can help people and it helps get it off of my mind, out of my system, whatever, then maybe that'll help other people and help me too. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for, because being like this, I don't want anybody to be like this. Anytime I hear of anybody getting hurt in an accident, I right away contact and warn them to please make sure you're checked out good. That, you keep up on. If you've got pain, don't let the doctor just say, oh, that's not important. Just don't think about it or don't worry about it. That's what it was. Don't worry about it. Because you don't want to end up like this. And I belonged to a couple diabetes groups, and I had one person, I saw that they were concerned because they had diabetes in their family, and they were starting to have some numbness and tingling, but they didn't want to go to the doctor and be told they had diabetes, and they didn't want to have to prick their finger and all of this. And it's like, go. Better to go and get it under control so that you don't end up like this. And I explained exactly what this is. She went to the doctor the next day, and yeah, she's diabetic, but she's getting it under control, and she's doing really good. But I'm trying to use this to help others, and hopefully everything that I've been through in my life, that I'll be able to help more of you. And it would be great if you'd subscribe, if you would tell others about the channel, because I really want to do my best to make my life productive, even though I can't do much of anything right now. If I can help other people, I think it'll help me. It's really hard dealing with this. And so please, if you think you're diabetic, go get checked out. Don't just let it go. Get it under control. Thank you. Bye.